News to 7:36. Heading over to Tara Sloan now.
Well, if your home has been needing a fresh new feel, summer is the perfect time to liven up your space. But where do you even start? Karen Seeley is a city line design expert. She's here this morning with some tips to turn your home into a sublime summer sanctuary. Welcome, Karen.
Thank you. It's great to be here. I love Calgary.
I know you've been here for a fantastic weekend.
I have, yes.
I'm grateful for that. Okay, let's talk about what we can do. You have some great tips you want to share for renovating.
I want to keep it really simple, but there's three kind of main tips. And number one is start with your mechanics. So many people are so excited about purchasing faucets and chandeliers and those kinds of things. They just gloss right over some of the first decisions you have to make, which is how are you going to heat the space and how are you going to insulate the space. And I know it's not as sexy as some of the other things, but it's so important. Right, and so it's not just about the upfront cost. So it's about the operating costs as well. So I've become a big fan of radiant heating because, first off, and I'm going to be completely honest, as a designer, I love the idea of no bulkheads and no vents.
For sure, I can imagine.
It's a much nicer way to design. I'm not designing around something anymore, and so I have this big open space to design within. And when you have a warm floor and your feet are warm, you're warm throughout. So it's a really great form of heat, and it's really inexpensive to operate. So I've actually brought some photos. It's my design studio to show how crazy it looked. And that's not my design studio. That's gorgeous.
But that's pretty. Okay, I wonder if we can identify that. Otherwise, we can just show these here. How about we do that?
Sure.
Okay, so this is your design studio. So you're starting from. Oh, we've got it up. Starting from. Well, what was this space?
So this was basically it was like a carriage house in the back. And it was horrible, not heated, so I decided to go in. It was a small space, and I didn't want it interrupted with bulkheads. So then I decided to go in and put in radiant floor heating. And so the next photo is going to show the insulated floor and the PEX going in. And that's actually me putting in the PEX flooring, and I spray painted where the walls are going to go, because you don't want the heating under the walls. And then the next one is going to show our after of the space,
which is totally transformed and beautiful.
And and the nice thing is, as you can see, I have this beautiful exposed ceiling, these beautiful beams, skylights, but there's no ductwork running through the space and interrupting the space.
I love those natural beams.
And they're fabulous. So think about not just how you're going to heat the space in terms of the upfront costs, but the operating costs. And radiant floor heating is the most economical form of heat once it's installed. So the next design tip: think about quality over quantity. So many times we just want to rush through a renovation, we want to fill the house, and you end up buying inexpensive things that don't last, and 5 years later you're in the same boat because you have to now purchase all new furniture again. So take your time, slow down, spend some money on a space that you live in, like a family room or kitchen, and do that room properly, and then move on to the next room.
I feel like that's a rite of passage of becoming a grown-up. It was for me anyway, starting to buy some quality items.
Yes, it is. It's so important. And even things like art. Like for an anniversary or Christmas, you could buy art for each other, and then you have an art collection that you've started, and it gets to grow over time, which is great. So I brought some photos of an outdoor space. This is actually from Ontario. It's Lake Simcoe, and it's an outdoor space that basically the family had nothing there, but it's a very woody, outdoorsy space. You can imagine if we'd put in kind of a kit gazebo, it wouldn't look nearly as authentic in this space. So we did reclaimed wood, made it a little bit smaller because obviously it's an expensive thing to build. So instead of doing something that was like 40 by 40 and massive and pressure treated, we decided, go the reclaimed wood. It's really authentic in the environment, and it looks fabulous. It has a couple of zones. What you see in the next photo is going to actually show you the front of that beautiful fireplace. But we also kept it open. So, that's actually the before.
Oh.
So there, we don't have anything, and you can see how woody and it looks. And then we have the next photo will show the after, and hopefully show the.
Apparently, we don't have it. So you know what? This is an exercise in using your imagination. But it certainly looks beautiful. We're running out of time, but I want to get to this stuff that you brought in.
So one of the things that we should do too is have some fun with color, but you can do it in small doses. So, think about the function of the space. So what I suggest, these are fabrics from Robert Allen, and they're outdoor fabrics. They're actually eco-friendly as well. So one of the things I love to do is do a fairly neutral decor, but punch it up with color. Because then, for example, like green's a really hot color, and so is orange or tangerine is really hot this season. What we're calling our tropical paradise colors are really, really hot. So you can add hints of this, whether it's in throws or accessories or pillows, and these are going to be indestructible. You can even take them from inside to outside. So, these are wonderful things to kind of add that punch of color in your space. And if you are thinking about working with color, the number one thing to keep in mind is repetition. So there's almost no rules anymore. You can pair almost any color, but if, for example, if you decided your theme was going to be orange and purple, replicate it in different ways in different rooms. And so the first picture we actually saw off the top was showing one of our client houses where we actually started with the front porch, tons and tons of color, and as you walk in the house, that color palette flows the entire main floor, and so it feels really welcoming.
Well, Karen, we are so happy to have you here today, and of course you can catch Karen on City Line. Nice to have you in our
Thank
city.
you.
Great to meet you. Thanks. This is all great advice. Jill also getting some advice this morning at the Habitat for Humanity Restore.
Yes, we are here at Restore for Habitat for Humanity. So